Did you know that after age 45, your risk of stroke doubles every decade? If you're watching this video, chances are you or someone you love falls into this age group. Today, we're going to talk about something that could literally save your life or the life of someone you care about. I'm going to share with you everything you need to know about stroke, what it is, why it happens more often as we age, and most importantly, what you can do to prevent it. Stick around because the information I'm sharing today could be the most important thing you learn this year. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I create content specifically for adults who want to take charge of their health and live their best years ahead. Today's topic is incredibly important because stroke is the 5th leading cause of death in the United States and a primary cause of long-term disability. But here's the encouraging news. Up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. That's right, 8 out of 10 strokes don't have to happen if we know what to do. What is stroke? Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a stroke? Think of your brain as a bustling city that needs a constant supply of electricity and water to function. In your brain's case, that vital supply is blood carrying oxygen and nutrients. A stroke happens when this blood supply to your brain gets cut off, either because a blood vessel gets blocked or because it bursts. When brain cells don't get the oxygen they need, they start dying within minutes. It's like a power outage in that bustling city. Everything starts shutting down quickly. The medical community defines stroke as brain damage that happens when blood flow to the brain stops for more than 24 hours or leads to death. There are 2 main types of stroke, and understanding them is crucial. The first type, called ischemic stroke, happens when a blood clot blocks a vessel in your brain. This accounts for about 87% of all strokes, so it's by far the most common type. Think of it like a clogged drain. The water can't flow through. The second type, hemorrhagic stroke, happens when a blood vessel in your brain bursts and bleeds. This is less common, making up about 10 to 15% of strokes, but it's often more severe. Imagine a pipe bursting in your house. Not only do you lose water pressure, but the flooding can cause additional damage. Why adults over 45 are at higher risk? Now, let's talk about why I'm specifically addressing those of you over 45. Age is what doctors call a non-modifiable risk factor, meaning it's something we can't change, unlike diet or exercise habits. But understanding why age matters can help us be more proactive about the things we can control. As we age, several things happen to our bodies that increase stroke risk. First, our blood vessels naturally become stiffer and less flexible, kind of like garden hoses that have been left out in the sun for too long. This process, called atherosclerosis, means our arteries develop plaques, fatty deposits that narrow the passages where blood flows. Second, we tend to accumulate what researchers call traditional vascular risk factors over time. These include high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and heart rhythm problems like atrial fibrillation. It's not that these conditions only affect older adults, but we've had more years of exposure to them, and their effects compound over time. Think about it this way. If you've had high blood pressure for 20 years, your blood vessels have been under extra stress for 2 decades. That's a lot of wear and tear. A major study called Interstroke found that 5 key factors account for most stroke risk: blood pressure, diet, physical inactivity, smoking, and abdominal obesity. These factors tend to cluster together as we age and interact with each other to increase our risk even more. The statistics are sobering but important to understand. After age 45, stroke risk doubles every decade. Hemorrhagic strokes are particularly more common in people over 65. But remember, knowledge is power, and understanding these risks means we can take action. Recognizing stroke symptoms. One of the most critical things you can learn today is how to recognize stroke symptoms. In the medical world, we have a saying, "Time is brain." This means that every minute counts when someone is having a stroke because brain cells are dying. You've probably heard of the FAST test, but I want to teach you an even better version called BE FAST. Let me walk you through each letter. B is for balance. Watch for sudden loss of balance, dizziness, or coordination problems. If someone suddenly stumbles or can't walk straight without an obvious reason, this could be a stroke. E is for eyes. Look for sudden vision loss or changes in vision. This might be blurry vision, double vision, or loss of vision in one or both eyes. F is for face. Ask the person to smile. Does one side of their face droop? Is their smile uneven or lopsided? A is for arms. Ask them to raise both arms. Does one arm drift downward? Can they keep both arms up? S is for speech. Ask them to repeat a simple phrase. Is their speech slurred, strange, or garbled? Do they have trouble understanding you? T is for time. If you see any of these signs, it's time to call 911 immediately. Note the time when symptoms first appeared. This information is crucial for medical treatment. I want to emphasize something important here. Don't wait to see if symptoms get better. Don't drive the person to the hospital yourself. Call 911. Emergency medical services can start treatment on the way to the hospital and ensure the person gets to a facility equipped to handle strokes. For hemorrhagic strokes, there's often an additional symptom, a sudden, severe headache that people describe as the worst headache of their life. This is different from your typical headache and often comes with nausea, vomiting, or loss of consciousness. Prevention strategies. Now, let's talk about the most empowering part of this discussion, prevention. Remember, up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. That's an incredible statistic that should give all of us hope and motivation. The most important thing you can do to prevent stroke is control your blood pressure. High blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for stroke, and it's often called the silent killer because many people don't know they have it. Your blood pressure should be below 130/80. If you don't know your blood pressure numbers, make an appointment with your doctor this week. Let's talk about diet. The foods you eat every day can either protect you from stroke or increase your risk. The Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet have both been shown to significantly reduce stroke risk. What do these diets have in common? They're rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats from sources like olive oil and nuts. They're low in processed foods, excessive salt, and saturated fats. I know changing your diet can feel overwhelming, so let me give you some simple starting points. Add 1 extra serving of vegetables to each meal. Choose whole grain bread instead of white bread. Replace 1 meat meal per week with fish. Reduce your salt intake by cooking more meals at home instead of eating processed foods. Small changes add up to big results over time. Physical activity is another powerful stroke prevention tool. You don't need to become a marathon runner. Even moderate activity, like brisk walking for 30 minutes most days of the week, can significantly reduce your stroke risk. Exercise helps control blood pressure, maintain a healthy weight, and improve your overall cardiovascular health. If you're a smoker, quitting is one of the best things you can do for your stroke risk. Smoking significantly increases your risk of both types of stroke through multiple mechanisms. It damages blood vessels, increases blood clotting, and raises blood pressure. The good news is that the benefits of quitting start immediately, and your stroke risk continues to decrease over time. For those who have already had a stroke, or what's called a mini-stroke, or TIA, secondary prevention becomes crucial. This typically involves medications, like aspirin, to prevent blood clots, medications to control blood pressure and cholesterol, and sometimes blood thinners if you have atrial fibrillation. The annual risk of having another stroke has decreased significantly over recent decades because we've gotten better at these prevention strategies. Treatment advances. Let me share some encouraging news. News about stroke treatment. The field has been revolutionized over the past few decades. We've gone from having very few treatment options to having interventions that can dramatically change outcomes. For ischemic stroke, we have a medication called tissue plasminogen activator, or TPA, which can dissolve blood clots. This is most effective when given within 3 to 4.5 hours of symptom onset, which is another reason why recognizing symptoms quickly is so important. We also have a procedure called mechanical thrombectomy, where doctors can actually go into the brain with specialized devices and physically remove large blood clots. This procedure can be performed up to 24 hours after symptom onset in carefully selected patients. It's truly remarkable. Patients who might have been severely disabled can sometimes walk out of the hospital with minimal impairment. The key to accessing these treatments is getting to the right hospital quickly. Not all hospitals are equipped to provide these advanced stroke treatments, which is why calling 911 is crucial. Emergency medical services know which hospitals in your area are designated stroke centers. Recovery and rehabilitation. Recovery from stroke is a journey that's different for everyone. The brain has an amazing ability to adapt and heal, a quality called neuroplasticity. With proper rehabilitation, many stroke survivors can regain significant function and independence. Modern rehabilitation uses repetitive, goal-oriented training that helps the brain develop new pathways around damaged areas. We now have technologies like robotic devices and virtual reality systems that make rehabilitation more effective and engaging. But recovery isn't just about physical therapy. Stroke survivors and their families often need support for depression, anxiety, and the emotional challenges that come with major life changes. Support groups, counseling, and staying connected with family and friends all play important roles in recovery. Let me wrap up with the key takeaways I want you to remember. First, stroke risk increases significantly after age 45, but most strokes are preventable. Second, knowing the be fast symptoms could save a life, maybe even your own. Third, the most important prevention strategies are controlling blood pressure, eating a healthy diet, staying physically active, and not smoking. I want you to take action today. Check your blood pressure this week if you don't know your numbers. Make one healthy change to your diet. Take a walk. If you smoke, talk to your doctor about quitting strategies. Share this video with your friends and family members who are over 45. The information we've discussed today could literally save lives. Knowledge shared is impact multiplied. Thank you for watching, and remember, your health is your wealth. Take care of it, and it will take care of you. I'll see you in the next video.